right. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning, everyone. All right. Today is December, not December. What is going down with me? It is January 13th. All right. 2022. Welcome to the Morning Brew, Beyond Charts Morning Brew, where we're about to give you the setups for today. Guys, amazing day yesterday. What a day. What a day, right? I mean, did you guys catch a Tesla trade? I mean, come on. Come on. Does it get any better than that? All right. So, what do we expect for today? Today is going to be all about the it's going to be all about the chips, right? The chips. I've been talking about the chips all morning, not all morning, all last month, and I think that they're about to go on fire. So let's dive in here and let's find out what's going down here. All right. So, good morning, guys. Good morning. All right, everybody's having a great morning. All right, guys, do me a favor before we start. If you haven't liked, subscribe, press that like right now, and before we get started. And yeah, let's dive in. All right, so the futures right now are at 47.20, guys. So 47.20, Dow's at 36, Nasdaq's at 15,909. All right, so we're looking pretty solid, dismal. Stocks making the biggest moves, Delta, Moderna. Okay, yeah, all right. But let's find out what is really going down here. So number one, what I want to point out is this, right? So Taiwan. Don't want to subscribe to this. Taiwan Semiconductors profited, right? So these guys came out and they destroyed their earnings, right? So I told you about all the chips, and basically they all saying the same thing that they echoed before. So they all said that it's basically going to be about a 2026 lead time. So what does that translate to? It translates to basically that there's high demand for chips, right? There's high demand for chips. So the chips are moving, right? And ASML starts earnings next week, or they announce earnings next week. Taiwan Semiconductors probably is going to move all the chips today. They have their conference call at 12 mid. I think it's 12. I'm trying to find out the exact time, but it is 12 o'clock. 12 o'clock, I believe, and I think it's Central Time. But watch it around that time. The reason why, because when they come out with certain verbiage, it is going to move the chips. Okay, it is going to move the chips. I think it's really all about the chips. So right here, Taiwan's beats at least estimates 40 billion to address chip shortage. These guys just destroy their earnings, right? So there's an article on Bloomberg that just discusses this if you want to dive into it. But it just kind of affirms or confirms everything that we said about the chips. What's good morning, JDH? Good morning. Yeah, so again, it's all about the chips. So again, that's the area that we're going to be looking at today. It's about the chips. So one thing I also want to point out here, a lot of you have been talking about, Kathy Wood and so forth. If you want to follow Kathy Wood, here is the plays that she did yesterday, right? So obviously she's buying Zoom, she's buying Palantir, DocuSign, she's selling Tesla, which, but the thing about it is that when you run a fund, she's probably selling Tesla because in her fund, she's probably only carrying like a percentage of Tesla that she's allowed to carry in her portfolio. If that increases in size, then basically she has to sell off some of her shares, right? So as far as percentage of value, right? So that's why she's probably selling off. And the only thing I don't understand, she's buying a lot of the stocks that are not good, right? So I don't know her method, but she's buying Hood, like Coinbase. I can understand Coinbase because crypto's up. But anyway, here it is, guys. So here it is. If you want to follow this, you can. And here it is. So you can write those things down. I will post this on the comments if you're interested in that. If you are, let me know in the comments. All right, so then what else do we got here? Barron's, nothing really new. I think today's just a quiet day. My reading on the markets right now is basically that the markets, so I don't think we're going to have any more big moves until Powell, right? The 25th, 26th. And I think that the market's kind of holding up until that day. Anything is possible. Remember, we also have earnings coming up at the end of the week. Interestingly enough, when we dive in, the same day Powell speaks, which is on the 25th, 26th, it's also the same day Tesla has earnings. Interesting, right? So I thought so too. But again, what are we looking at? I think that the markets are kind of at, but I like to, guys, let's show the markets are kind of the same. That we haven't moved much. Okay, but let's find out what is moving. So right now, this is the E-mini futures. Remember what I said, E-mini futures. We go to the 4 o'clock hour, 4 a.m., which is that time. And again, see the high there, which is about 47.15. Draw a line there. If we go below that anytime today, that's going to serve a level in the sand of resistance or support, right? High demand. If we start breaking below that, start breaking down, then that's going to give you a clue that possibly we're going to head lower, right? Or higher. But right now, we're looking pretty bullish. Let's see what happens here. Don't know what's going to happen, but anything is possible. Let's look at the overall markets. So the overall markets here, now what are we looking at? We're looking at, and let me, so we're looking at basically, we're looking at the S&P 500, the NASDAQ, and the Russell, right? So this is what we're looking at. So again, like we said, on the XPX, it's got bought. It's we saw that they were buying at the 50-day moving average. And, again, they've been buying it at the 50. Great. They're buying it. So, but here's the thing. And I said this yesterday. Does it have enough juice to go higher, right? And the MACDs are turning. Does it have enough juice to go higher? I don't know. I don't know if it's going to go higher before Powell on the 25th. Maybe with earnings. What's going to get it up there, right? I think that the market's taking a few things up, but not everything. Again, this is just my own opinion. What I'm seeing is this. I think that they keep it in here, right? And then it drops into Powell. And I think that if, Powell just, if he says, yeah, four rate hikes is going to happen sooner, I think the market's going to drop, right? And it's going to drop, right? So I'm noticing that's going up high enough and then it's going to drop. That is a possibility, okay? I'm seeing in the NASDAQ. The NASDAQ's coming down, coming up, and then what happens here? So we're below zero here. This could kind of turn up, but we're going to watch the NASDAQ at 16,148 on XPX, and this is the dailies, right? We're going to be looking at 47.50, the same level I told you yesterday, 47.50. If we can break that, then there's another level here. I have to go in, but guys, 47.50 is pretty hard, right? That's pretty difficult. There's another level up here. I'll tell you that when we dive into the 15 hours. On the NASDAQ, you have a level there at 16,144. And then there's one there at 16,246. Russell is, again, there's a lot of tailwind at that 220. So this could be setting up for a divergence. It's not there yet, but if this starts curling, maybe it's going to go up and retest these highs of the 200-day moving average and the 50-day. So right in there if you're trading IWM or RUT. Now, this is more for individuals who are looking for, and the reason why we're looking at this level, at these guys, is because if you're trading stocks for a longer term, you want to find out what cycle is the overall market in, right? Because if the market starts turning down, then more than likely your stock, which is high or wherever it is, maybe low, maybe could go a little lower, right? So you want to know, again, this is the big wave. This is the big wave. And your stock is involved in this wave. Remember, very, very few stocks go against the market. So find out exactly where, that's why we cover this, is to find out exactly if you're interested in certain stocks. There better be some really, really good news out there to move it if this is going down. So just realize that. All right, because if we go down, then you could more than likely can get your stock at a discounted price if it's a good stock, whatever stock you're looking at. If you're interested in any stock you want me to cover, please leave it in the comments, and I'll get to it as well. So let me know there as well. All right, but I don't think we're going to move significantly today, but watch that. Now, as far as the VIX yesterday, and I'm going to make this a little bit higher. So we look at the VIX again. This is the measurement of fear that's entering in or out of the market. So I use the hourlies on the VIX. On the VIX, what do we see? On the VIX, we have basically right here, this number. It was the highs of 2 days ago, which was 1875. I never got alerted. So yesterday, right? Never got alerted. So I didn't expect a drop, because this never alerted me. So, okay, not a big deal. The alert still stands there. There might be a little alert right there at that 1826, but I don't think I need to put that. I think that 1875 is good enough. Now, if we go lower here, if we go below 1734, then there is a slight chance that we could probably go higher in the XPX. All right, pretty simple how to read. Again, anything is, I don't really foresee any news coming out. I know there's PPI numbers coming out. I think it's tomorrow, but I think the market's kind of being quiet into Powell, and there's earnings next week. There is Citibank that announces earnings tomorrow, and BlackRock. So we have a few banks that announce tomorrow. The other thing too, which is there's whispers of, we're having port issues, right? So that's what I'm hearing across the board in all the research that I'm doing. So there is supply issues out there. Now, the other thing that we have to be conscientious of, I'm hearing it, it's not confirmed. We're having the railroads are about to go on strike. So again, that's a news event that we have to kind of just be conscious of, because that's another kind of a hiccup into the markets besides everything else, that if the railroads go on strike and then we have port issues, it's going to create more supply constraints throughout the country. Hopefully that's not the case, but if it is, we're going to catch it. And again, so let's just be frosty on that, and let's dive, just be conscious of that. So again, the VIX is going to show you exactly what's going down. All right, so now the treasury notes have calmed down a little bit, but which is good. Here's the thing about the treasury notes, the 10-year note. The 10-year note, again, it just makes money more expensive. I think they're just hanging out here. I mean, so we broke that 1.70. This is what's putting strain on the NDX and tech. Okay, if we break below that 1.69, you'll see tech go up. But if it stays up in this range, they're reassessing tech, all tech companies, again, because, if you have a loan and you have to pay it back, it's going to cost you more, and it takes more out of your margin. So again, if you're going to you want to invest in tech, invest in the companies that, have little to zero debt on their books, right? So again, those are the companies you're going to watch. So I think treasury notes, good thing to watch it, so just watch it there. All right, so let's dive into the XPX. As you know, I love trading the XPX. This is one of my babies. And again, as far as the hourlies here, if we're trading the hourlies, right? So again, this is where I like to trade right here. We're right there. We're either going to go up or down. E-minis right now at 47.26. That puts us right in there, right at 46.36. So we're in this range of right under 47.50. MACDs are ending right at the end of the hourlies here, right? They're coming to the end. Do they have enough juice? Now, it could bounce ahead higher. So if we break that 47.50 and bounce here and go there, then more likely, yeah, we could go higher. What's going to get it higher? Maybe the tech, maybe tech. I don't know. That is a possibility. But if it does go higher, then you're going to see right around here, 47.85, right in there. There's a lot of consolidation in there. So there's not a real number here, but I'm just noticing. And again, 47.50 is pretty difficult. If you notice here, it's hard. It's hard. So if it does break that, if it does, then we're probably going to go into this range right here. 47.85, 4800, right? Can we go higher? Yes, anything's possible. We break 48.20. I just don't see anything that's going to get it higher at this moment, especially when we got Powell around the corner. Maybe earnings. I don't know. What do you think about earnings? They're coming out, so I think that the market is waiting on that. So we'll see. Now, I'm going to give you both sides of the coin here. If you see this turning, now this is an entry to the downside, guys. Okay, so again, if you see this turning, you see the VIX, that alert, the VIX, you see the VIX. I'm going to give you the playbook. Do you see this alert? Bing, bing, right? And that goes higher, or this goes higher, or not that, these two. And then you go here, you see this, the MACD's turning, that breaking 50, that is a good position to enter puts. Why? Because that means that the market is some news hit the market, and the market is going to probably decline, and it could go down. So again, we're stuck in this range. I think 47.05 can really get it going, right? And then it can probably go down to 46.40, and it'll happen fast. So again, downward markers are really, really fast. Is it going to happen today? Tomorrow? Don't know, but anything's possible. Stay frosty, especially if you're behind your desk. Put the alert there. If you're away from your desk, Thinkorswim or whoever you use should have something where they email you or text you anything, so you could be alerted, and you'll have time, because again, it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen like in a 5 minute, 10 minutes. You'll notice it kind of breaking down a little bit. On the 15-minute time frame, again, so we had, if it breaks out today, 47.50, again, pretty simple. It's exactly where we like it to see. Could it bounce here off 47.13, 47.20, and the MACD's turn, and this turns, it can probably run, and there'd be a nice little trade, maybe 47.34, right? And then if it takes out 47.50, it's right there. So can you trade this? Yeah. If it starts bouncing here, those are the levels that you can take. Now, if it breaks 47.50, then it's going to go to the next level, which is around 47.85. Pretty simple. And that's how we trade the XPX. Now, here's the opposite, right? If the MACD starts turning down and this starts turning lower, then you're probably going to see this thing go down to probably 46.70, somewhere in there. 46.95 is going to go, right? So that's the short term, 46.95, and then 46.72, right, on the 15-minute time frame. So those are the levels there. Pretty simple. All right. You're like, yeah, simple for you, but no, don't worry. Again, you guys are watching the show. You're gonna find, guys. You're gonna get this. It's a repetition is the mother of all learning. Just pick one. Again, just pick one and just study it. You'll do well. And again, if you want to do this in in a longer time frame, you can. It's just the same principles, right? Same principles. If I go back to the XPX here, you'll see that it's the same principle, right? Boom. Now the MACDs aren't cooperating, but if the MACDs turn around, now here's the other thing. If it turns out and bounces down, that is a signal we're going to drop. So watch the MACDs for a clue. But anyway, let's go in, because I want to cover the chips, and right now it is we got some time. All right, so XPX, just gave you the trade on the XPX. You can see it is, if it bounces, curls, it can go. Is it going to happen today? Maybe the chips take it up, and that could be a nice trade for today. NASDAQ and Q setting up nicely. Can it bounce off of 0, bounce off the 50? That's another trade, right? 16.16013. Now you can take the trade from there to there, but watch the MACDs. The MACDs have to give us a clue first, right? Because if this starts going down, it's probably going to break lower. Russell, just in no man's land. Russell is right there, and it's just kind of, Russell. Let's see. Russell's working his way lower. I don't know what happened with Goldman Sachs yesterday, but it just collapsed. 21.69 on the bottom. If it starts keep going, it can maybe go 21.55. Watch it pre-market. Maybe that is a trade there. Google did very well yesterday. Google did extremely, extremely well, right? So again, this was a play that we said we caught on early, but it didn't hold, right? So it moved, but it didn't really go. Can it go today? So again, Google's showing me the same type of thing that the XPX, the NASDAQ are doing, right? So if Google can bounce off that 28.21 and this turns, then you're going to see Google probably hit that 28.51, right? If it takes that out, then it's going to go a little bit higher, right? How high? I'll tell you right now. I can probably hit these levels here of 28.75, 28.91, somewhere in there. Okay, so again, watch that. Now, Google can remember, Google doesn't have a debt, so they're taking Google up. They do well. If anybody, again, you're going to invest in a company that doesn't have debt. Now, Amazon's a different story, right? Because Amazon has wage, they have a lot of strains on their they guided down last quarter, and they have remember, same old story. They have wage inflation, supply chain issues. Now, what do you think about that railroad situation, right? So again, watch Amazon, and they do have the basis. Now, is it tradable? Yes, it is tradable, right? Again, and I want to share this with you guys. If we go into Amazon, and I'm just showing you the 15-minute time frame because that's what I trade. That's my playbook. But for today, Amazon, it doesn't matter. You can do this on the dailies, on the hourlies, and the 15-minute time frame. It's all the same. If I look at if I look at the dailies, Amazon's at the lower range, is being held at 31.71. It's been going sideways for the last, if we really want, it's been going sideways for quite some time. So if once you know the ranges, it's very volatile. It's probably going to go. You can make some money on this if you want. Just don't get greedy, lock it in, but it just goes sideways, right? Again, Amazon. So again, just again, on the 50-minute time frame, needs to take out 33.39 or 33.40. It's having an inside day so far as pre-market. All right, the one with Tesla. This is the one we gave you yesterday. Look at this. This is beautiful. And again, people are like, oh man, I know you guys did very well. I got the text. I got the notices, the messages. Thank you. Tesla looks, it could have a day two, right? So again, they're taking it up. So again, this was yesterday, pre-market. It pulled back, but look at the MACDs. Kept going, and this was gone, right? And again, it didn't hit the price target that I said, 1170. Could it hit it today? Right. But this was a 30-point ripper right there. And again, depending on your money management style, the way I trade, I lock it in. I lock in my gains here. And again, what do I do? Because I don't know what tomorrow's going to bring. So I'll take 20% of my gains, and then I'll add into a new position. And this looks like it could run again. It might have a day two. I'm going to make this bigger for you. And again, look right there. If it takes out 1116, and you see the MACDs turning, right? If these start spreading his legs, again, anything can happen in 30 minutes. So again, but right now, the way it stands, if this continues, this could probably be a trade, right? Now, levels to watch, because it's not just going to run up to 1170, right? And 1170. There's going to be a little hiccup right there at 1118, right in there. And 1118, it's so funny. This is like textbook, these levels, right? Because 1118, I found myself saying that in the past over and over again. So again, watch 1118. It can really pop it, and we're almost there, guys. We're almost there. Look at that. We're almost there. It can really pop it, or it can drop. Remember, that's a key level. All right. So ISRG, just chilling. CMG, are they going to take this up into earnings? Let's look at it. This thing got sold off pretty good, and let's see. The company does make money, but it's sold off. Earnings is coming up pretty soon. I think it's coming up next couple of weeks. I don't have the date on it yet. Oh, no, it's coming in February, I believe. But right now it's just being sold. A lot of headwinds on CMG. But for a trade, if you're looking for a trade, if it sets up nicely and it speaks to you, right now, CMG on the hourlies could be setting up maybe to a downward move here. On the 15-minute time frame, nothing really here. So again, and we move on. So again, only look for the one that makes sense to you. Now, the one I want to talk about is LRCX, because LRCX could move on that Taiwan news that I said today. LRCX, again, again, on the dailies, has a 50-minute time on the 50-day moving average. It bounced. And again, the problem with the dailies, the MACDs always lag a little bit. So if you want to get a better entry, then you go into the hourlies, right? Because if we go back here, this was 2 days ago. This is this morning. This was yesterday, right? So you got to, bounce. And so yesterday you would have got in, and this was a bounce confirming this. Now it's bouncing. These are going to probably turn as above zero, and this can go higher. Now on LRCX, you're going to look for 709. If it can take out 709, it can probably go to 730. Okay. Now, pre-market on the 50-minute time frame is too far away from the 50. Let it pull back a little bit. If it can pull back to around that 688, 690, then I think it's going to look pretty good. But right now, it's 703. We're working our way higher. So again, that's one you're going to watch. Now, this one for a long term, LRCX. Sorry. God bless me. All right. So here's the deal. Chips. These guys make the equipment that makes the chip. So again, listen to the chip manufacturers, because if they do well, supply demand is high, then these guys are going to do extremely well. And again, as you can see clearly by the trend line, this thing just started, right? This is the first time it's touched the 50 since recently, since November 3rd. And it ran up. Look how much it ran up from 581 to about 732. It ran up about 150 points. Is it going to run that this time? Maybe. I don't know. Anything's possible. But this is the second time it's touched. So more than likely it will. And the news is still pretty positive in LRCX. Okay. So again, giving you that. That's a good play. Goldman Sachs work his way lower. Again, let's see what happens there. Goldman Sachs, they're going to announce next week. So Goldman Sachs collapsed here a little bit. Still holding at 50. We'll see. I don't know what happened with Goldman Sachs. It just collapsed. Don't know. Don't know the news on it. Been looking for it. Don't know. Netflix, again, in no man's land, right? So Netflix just kind of have an inside day. It's on the books because if you want to trade it, can go to 546 or can go to 532. Right now, it's selling at 537. Roku. So let's talk about Roku for a second. And again, and I put Roku on but I want you to look at because someone said, man, it's not doing well. You're right. It's not doing well, right? We look at Roku because we've been trading this up and down. It moves. So when I get my nice setups on Roku, I trade it. But when you look at Roku from a long term, it's not doing well. It was at 492. It's at 177. Now, what happened with Roku? Well, Roku, they did well. But the thing about it, if you listen to the Roku, is that, the CEO started a war with Google. Basically, right? He wanted more money from Google or YouTube to have it on their little thing. Well, who's the bigger company? Google said, no, we're not going to pay you more. And he goes, well, we'll take you off. Well, all right, great. We'll take you off. Big deal. Take us off. They're bigger. They need Roku. Like Roku acted like a big boy and the stock dropped. They renegotiated a contract. I'm sure it was more favorable to YouTube's terms or Google's terms, not Roku. And Roku has never been the same. Again, and here's the thing about Roku. If you listen to their last earnings report, during the era where everybody was home watching, streaming videos, where the advertisement sales were huge, right? Roku missed. They said that they missed on their advertising sales during the era that everybody rocked and rolled. So again, just be careful with Roku. I have it on my screen because I like to trade it, right? Because it's a pretty easy trade. But if you're looking at it, try to, look at it from a multiple, I'm just giving you my playbook. So this is why I have to go a little faster because I have to get ready by 9:30. I don't trade during market hours. I don't teach during market hours because I have to, I got to make a living, right? And I got to stay focused. I can't teach. Very rarely do people have that. There are people that are really good teachers during market hours, but if you find they're not really trading, they're teaching, and they're probably doing like a $60 trade or making $60, 30. That's not enough to feed my family. I'm sorry. I was hoping if it was, it'd be great, but I can't. But if you want to know more about this trading system, and I'll show you for multiple time frames. Again, I'm starting that course. It starts next Sunday. Make sure to sign up for that course. It's only going to be about 20 spots, and it's going to be this type of information. We're going to dissect the entries and exits on all time frames. But anyway, watch Roku because somebody asked me about Roku, and this is why we look at Roku. Roku's right there, 181, and it's right there. It's in a range on the hourlies. On the 50-minute time frame, it could maybe set up. If it bounces off the 50, it could probably work its way lower if it takes out 173. And this is how we can make money on Roku. Why? Because the MACDs are still rolling on the dailies. And if the hourly, if it starts going down, again, and is Roku really worth $177? I don't know how much debt they have, but again, maybe this is one of those companies that they have a lot of debt. and how are they making money if it's not through advertising? If they're selling a $30 stick, is that enough to make revenue? I don't know. You tell me. What do you think? Let me know in the comments. Good morning. Do you ever trade 5-minute charts? I do. That's a great question. I do on a very volatile stock. If you only have it, and again, the same setup I have now, but it has to be volatile because I don't do it on $1 or $2. It has to be where I can make maybe $5-10 in a stock. As far as the 15-minute time frame, I like the 15-minute time frame. It just and again, the reason why I do 15 minutes is because I'm able to see it clear. Like as far as the clarity on the 15-minute and hourlies, when I get those two confirmations, I'm just, my confidence levels on the entries are astronomical. So, oh yeah, no worries. So when you are trading crypto, do you also only do during market hours? Well, crypto's a little bit different. Crypto trades 24 hours a day. So you can trade crypto depending on your, futures are 24 hours. So you can trade that whenever you want. And yeah, I'll do BA. Let's do BA now since I have it, since, we talked about Goldman Sachs. And then I'm going to get into what is going to move today because I think I'm going to go into the chips because I think I'll spend time in the chips because those are going to be the movers. Now, Boeing, BA, right? Boeing. Again, midstream again. So if you look at it from a daily perspective, right? Boeing got hammered. I'm not a big fan of the CEO, but again, whatever. It's in the fund. It's in the fund. It's in all the funds. What I mean, mutual funds and all that. They love this thing. So watch it. Now, Boeing got hammered, and again, so there was a supply issue at 212. It broke the 50. 212 kind of popped it, and it's above the 50. You have a lot of headwinds up here. It's trying to go. Now, this is dependent on a lot of, like, what new contracts are there is coming out there. Now, as far as the MACD, look at the MACDs. They swung up. We're 3/4 up. If it starts turning, it broke this level. Is it going to come back to the 50? And what happens at the 50 there? Now, it's up, working up to 222. So 222 is right there. As far as the hourlies, again, the trade, and we like to trade off the 50 with the MACD. So if you notice, you'll notice these patterns all the time. Right now is having a second wind. Can it go? Does it have enough juice to go a little higher, or is it going to pull back? Right. So pre-market, it looks like it probably wants to pull back a little bit. The 15-minute time frame definitely looks like it wants to pull back. So again, you watch this because you don't want to overpay for something. Let it pull back. Watch how it reacts around that 220. If it collapses, then this is going to come down a little bit. But again, if it bounces here, pull back a little bit and keeps going, then that might be another entry on the short-term time frame. On the hourlies, I don't like it. I liked it 2 days ago, right? On the dailies, I liked it 2 days ago as well. So this is what I mean. Our dailies, hourlies. You had the confirmation of a trade breaking the 50 on the 50 on both time frames, right? And that was 2 days ago, and you probably had it on the 15-minute time frame. So very rarely when you see this triple setup, that's when I feel very, very confident to enter into a trade. But you have to follow these things. Yeah. So that's what you got there. But I want to cover, I'm just going to go through this real quick because I don't see if I see any plays here. Roku can work his way lower, so that might be a play to the downside. Roku, 177, could probably go to 174. So that's a play. NVIDIA, watch NVIDIA. NVIDIA can go. NVIDIA been hammered. It's been hammered. And I don't know why they're keeping it down. This is a darling. These guys make money. These guys are the leaders in the chips. If Taiwan Semiconductors can go, watch NVIDIA. It can run today. 286 to get it popping, but they've been keeping this one down. Mercado Libre, working his way lower. MACDs are showing me weakness. Watch it around that 111.84. Apple, no man's land. It's just chilling, but anything can happen here on Apple. It's a darling. 177 to get it up. 174 in the bottom. Yeah, 174 in the bottom. Shopify. Now, here's the thing. Those port issues are affecting Shopify. So, again, watch Shopify on top. 1190. Oh man, I can't see. 11.95 on the bottom, 11.53. If it breaks any of those, it can go. If it breaks the bottom, it can go a little lower, 10.86. All right, TTD. I had Shopify here. Affirm. Watch Upstart. It's right at the 50. Can go either way. If it starts breaking 117, it's gonna go lower. HubSpot. No like it. Zoom, Kathy Wood is buying. So it's at the 50. Let's see what happens. Can it break through? It can probably hit 179 if it breaks through, right? If the MACD's turn, it's probably going to work its way lower, 169 to get it going. Bookings, nothing on bookings. Snow, nothing on snow. Coinbase, if Bitcoin goes up, this is going to go up. If it bounces off the 50, MACD's turn, it can probably go back to 246 off of 240. All right, let's go into the chips. Taiwan semiconductor news is affecting everyone. So the one I'm going to give you the play here, this is the play. INTU can run. Look, it's right there, can hit 589. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to go in here. Let's go to INTU, and I'm going to break down the chips and the plays here. So I'm going to go to chips here, and let's go to chips because I want to spend some time here. What time is it? We have time. Oh, 9:05. All right, let's do 10 minutes. INTU. At the bottom, this thing made money. These guys echo. They made money. INTU. Now, on the dailies, if this starts turning, it looks like it's probably going to go. Now, on the hourlies, if it can take it out 590, watch 590, is bouncing on the hourly. This starts turning, it's probably going to run. Okay, it's going to run. It's going to go up. Now, on the 15-minute time frame, it's right there. It's going to bounce. If it takes out that 590 again and turns, semiconductors, this is going to bring up the semiconductors. All right. This is going to bring up the semiconductors. I don't have the levels here, so that's the only thing. Qualcomm can run today. Okay. Watch Qualcomm. If Qualcomm could take out 189 and this starts bouncing, if this MACD starts turning, then it's going to run. Okay. Watch it right there. 189. ASML. Yes, baby. I've been talking about this. We talked about this. This is the trade I've set up. Now, ASML came out with amazing news today. Amazing news. I had that somewhere. Where is the ASML news? Did I have it here? It's somewhere. I don't have it here. ASML. ASML news. Something came out with ASML that it was very positive for ASML. Anyway, I don't have it. But ASML, look at this. Got taken down. If ASML echoes everything Avgo did, and these guys announce earnings next week, these guys can kill it. They have earnings on January 19th. They're taking this one up. That semiconductors, Taiwan news, it's very good. If this thing can take out 771, it looks like it's going to, it can probably push a little bit higher. Let's see if it can get back up to that 800 level. Remember, they took it down for whatever reason because of the fire. But again, it's all about the chips. Now, it's too late to get into the 15-minute time frame. If you're going to day trade it, it's probably going to have a second win up. Let it pull back. Let it set up on the hourlies as well, right? But again, watch this one for play. Let it set up nicely. We're probably going to set this one up for earnings, okay, for earnings play, okay? So keep that on your horizon. AMD, pre-market, it's moving. I don't know if it's going to take out that 140. Let it pull back. AMAT taking off. They're building a position on AMAT, guys. AMAT taking off. This is one that we gave you 2 days ago. It's starting to rip. Semiconductors is going to go. Avgo right here. These guys killed their earnings. Let's look at Avgo. Avgo is probably one. It's going to probably go higher. These guys did everything right. This is Broadcom. So Avgo, again, at the 50, they're taking it down. Let's see right here. I think Taiwan Semiconductor News can really get it going. 630 to really get it popping on the hourlies. It's at the 50. If the MACDs start turning, that is one that can probably run. Now watch the 50-minute time frame. We're right there. If it can take out that 630, it's going to run. It's going to run. All right, guys. So right there, watch the Avgo Semiconductor News. Remember, they come out with their earnings conference around 12 Central Time, which I think is 1 o'clock Pacific Eastern Standard Time. So, right, I think it's 1 hour ahead. So let's do that. Okay, Micron's MU start to work. We're higher. So again, right there, look at that. As we're talking about Avgo, they're buying it. Right, Avgo today. 630 can really get it going. Avgo, 630 can really get it going. All right, Roblex, nothing there. Micron started too far away. All right, let's go into the BTC because I know you guys want to watch this. Now, I don't trade BTC. I don't day trade it. You can. Trust me. The same thing works. The same system works, that I have here. It works on the, if you want to day trade it. I just don't because I want to sleep. But I do use it for to build a position, right? So right now, I told you we are in a demand area here, right? And it held this VWAP, a VWAP, right? The VWAP, it's basically like the 200-day moving average, but the 200-day moving average doesn't have the amount of volume traded, right? This just has the price, the amount of price average in the last 200 days or the 50 days. This has the same premise, but it just has also the volume traded. So it's a little bit more exact. I like both, right? But the VWAP held. Now on BTC, again, it's breaking. I said yesterday, I've been saying this all week. I said this last week, that a divergence could be forming, right? And it looks like it's forming. This is breaking through. How high are we going to go? Again, we have some headwinds here. When the 50 and the 200 is about to cross, the depth cross, don't pay that much. It's not really that big of a deal, I don't think. Watch the 50 because that's when it's more dramatic. But let's see what happens here. If it has a lot of headwinds, if it crosses the 50 and this starts going higher, then that is an entry for me to get into it because I trade off the 50-day moving average. So again, that's what I'm looking for. I don't care about the price. I want to make sure that I surf the wave up. That's what I care for because this is what it could also happen. The 50-day comes back in and then this turns down, then that is also a possibility. Now, if you want to trade this, I'm going to show you. I'm going to just spend a little time. If you want to day trade this, and I'm going to show you how accurate this is. And again, if you want to trade this, you can using the system. Pretty simple. Again, you will look for a bounce off the 50, MACDs, and you trade it. But you're not in these trades very long, right? And it ended here. Or you ended there. Whatever you want. Now, these are, we're talking about Bitcoin. So this is 41.85, and it went to 43, right? So, it moves 1,000. It's stupid, I know, but it moves 1,000. So whatever time frame you want to move or whatever, you want to discuss here, but it's silly. And again, I don't trade it because I rather trade other things, but you can if you want to. I just like to sleep, and you can do this on the monthly or the weekly, whatever time frame that you're trading or investing. Now, if you want to, if this goes higher, MicroStrategy is going to go higher. So that's why I got MicroStrategy here. Bitcoin goes down, this goes down. Now, Ethereum, it's better, right? We have the 200-day moving average. And I do have a VWAP. So this is a VWAP. So we're below the VWAP, below the 200. There's a lot of resistance right in there, right? So they're buying it. If this crosses, maybe, but it's got a lot of headwinds up here. I want to see this base. I want to see a base. I want to see a breakout. I want to see a bear trap in these things. On the Ethereum, I want to see bear trap. So again, don't rush into it. Again, unless you need to buy like 10,000 ETH or 20,000, then yeah, you should probably buy some now because you're going to get a better price. But if you're buying like fractional or maybe like 5 or 10, you don't need to rush into this thing. Wait. All right, guys. The VWAP, yeah, so it's weighted. I forget what it's a VWAP. So it's on TradingView. If you go up here, anchored VWAP right there. Anchored VWAP. So you go to the trend line and then you just draw it from whenever. So I'll just give an example. No, I don't want it there. I'll give an example. We can also do it from the high. So if I say, I want the anchor VWAP from this point, I can do that. And then it'll draw these lines. It's not supposed to draw all three. Just supposed to draw one. Remove. Okay, but it draws one, right? And that's the one, and that's going to tell you the anchor VWAP right there. It basically takes. So basically, think of the 200-day moving average or any moving average takes the price per day and it averages it out for the period amount of time that you stated in that moving average. So if it's 50-day or 100-day, that's the price, right? That's it. Now, when you look at anchored VWAP, they put the amount of trades, the volume in there per day, and they also adjust for that. So you have the price and volume all in one. So it's a little bit more accurate. It's that's what it is. Yeah. So let's look for what I'm looking for today. E-minis, where we're at. E-minis, and again, you only need one. We're at 47.28. Not really a big move here. So that's going to put us right at that 46.38. Let's see where I'm looking for this market. 47.50 breaks. That might be a trade, but we're right there at the 50-minute time frame. I'm going to see how it reacts around that 47.13. We're pretty high up. If that turns the MACD higher, if that 47.28, obviously the MACD is going to turn a little bit. If it breaks through, and I'm noticing that it's probably spreading his legs pretty big, I might take that trade to 47.50, maybe up there. So possibly that's what I'm looking for as far as a trade. Tesla's another one. I'm looking for Tesla. So I'm just giving you what I'm looking at today. Tesla, again, you only need 1, 2, that's it. And I'm just going to give it to you. Tesla could have a day 2. It looks a little weak. I'll be honest, it looks a little weak. Looks a little weak pre-market. But if it takes that 11.14, 11.18 is pretty difficult up there. So I'm going to watch it. Can it go today? Anything's possible in the next 10 minutes. It's looking a little weak right now. So, but again, Tesla kind of fools you a little bit. So watch Tesla. What else do I like? Amazon's moving a little bit. Look at Amazon. Again, creeping. Google, maybe Google and Amazon. So again, Google. You got it, JDH. Google. If Google, if this is Alphabet, if this bounces off to 50, that could probably run. Maybe Google. I'm watching Google. So I'll just put up Google options on my screen. Watch those. There was someone else here that I watched. It was the chips. Nothing here. Oh, Lam Research is gone. Too far away. Nothing. Let's see. MU. Avgo. That's the one I want. So Avgo's the one. So we got 3. We got Avgo. So Avgo right here. If this turns, I'm going to make this a little bigger. Maybe Avgo can go. Right? We got it on the hourlies. Boom. If it breaks out that 631, it's going to go. And Avgo pre-market is looking pretty darn good. If this can still continue around 630, I might be an Avgo fan today. Looking at Avgo. Probably looking at the 650, 700s. Let's start looking at it. Let's start looking. See, yeah, that's the one I'm setting up. All right, guys. That's my playbook for today. Now, guys, if you want, like I said, I'm just going to tell you, like, don't be shy. I'm going to go in here today, and this is my Patreon page. Only 20 spots, only 18 spots. This is going to start. Again, you want to learn more. You want me to dissect this more time with you. This is going to be Sundays, 8 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. So you have to get up early, and 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Every Sunday. Now, this is only $149 a month, guys. This is nothing. You're going to make this in the trades pretty easily. Probably more than that, way more than that. So again, but what we're going to cover the key elements for trading, and it's going to be more of an intimate setting, one-on-one. Very similar to this, but guess what? If you want, we'll do a Zoom call. You want to see my face, we'll talk. It's going to be 20, and you can ask questions. We'll set up trades, find out your risk profile, the mindset, and give your thesis. Now, what I'm going to do here, if you want to support this channel, I'm going to give you for $5. You want to enjoy that? This is where I'm going to give my trade thesis, like I gave on ASML 2 weeks ago. We did very well on that, so we're working with profits. And then all the other fun little thesis, I'll do a deep dive on stocks. And this is more for my stock trade and more long-term trading. It doesn't have to be more day trading. But for this one, it's both. If you want to do day trading, again, the thing about day trading, you get your reps in faster, right? You'll get your reps in faster. You need your reps. If you're trading stocks, once, 2, 3 times a year, that's cool, but you're not getting your reps. You need reps. You need, like Michael Jordan, you need your shots. You need your shots, guys. So again, that's the one that I'm going to recommend for you guys. Go in there, sign up, support the channel. If not, I'm going to be here every morning doing these things. giving you my playbook for free, not a big deal, and giving some golden nuggets. But there you have it. I also will be on TradingView today. If you want to know the TradingView or the link to get TradingView, if you don't have it yet, here's a link. It's a referral link. You can go in there and get there, and you have access to all my charts, everything. Also, I go live there at 12 o'clock today. All right, guys, that's all I got. How's Booking doing since Delta in the news? How's Booking? I don't know. Let's check it out. Let's check out Booking. Yeah, Delta announced earnings today, I believe, right? So Booking pre-market not looking too good, but again, anything can happen on the 1 hour. Let's see what happens there. It's at the 50, so we love that. 24.52, and then we'll look at Delta. Delta ran up a little bit. It's coming to the end. Ran up $1, right? Pre-market. It's not. So again, MACDs are turning. They're looking like it's ran out of juice here a little bit. Let's see how it reacts around that $41. Let's see. There's a lot of headwinds on the hourlies. So, so Booking is just right there. All right, guys. That's all we got. I got to get ready. It is now. Let me see what time is it. It is 9:20. I got 10 minutes to get ready, guys. Go out there. Go get it. Guys, make sure to like, subscribe if you haven't done it so already. And, no worries, brothers. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Stay green. Go out there. Go get it. Let's surf some waves. And remember, today, I'm watching the XPX. I like the Tesla. I'm setting up Google. And I like AVGO. AFGO. Let's go out there. Go get it. All right. Take care.